Good morning and welcome to Business Profile on Lifestyles. I'm Charlene Sloan, and today we are talking with Buta Biberaj from Biberaj, Snow and Sinclair, the Loudon lawyers. Good morning, Buta.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, so you're going to talk today about expungements. Explain.
Well, what we're finding in the criminal justice field is that people make some bad decisions. Obviously, they deal with the courts, they have the consequences, and then years pass and those stigmas still remain with them. So what we want to do is to share with the community that for juveniles and for adults in some limited cases, that you can actually have some of those expunged off your record so that they don't come up on a background check.
Great, and this might also affect you in college and getting a job and a lot of other things besides just kind of your basic criminal background check, right?
Definitely. What we're finding is children or young kids or young adults who are applying for college, the applications now are asking, have you ever been involved with the court system? Mm-hmm. Decades ago, as a juvenile, nobody cared about your record because it was deemed to be your juvenile record and they didn't want to pursue it. But now it actually comes up on those applications where the universities are screening kids who may have issues with drug use, issues with mental health, issues with criminal behavior, because there's obtaining some sort of liability by bringing certain individuals onto their campuses, and they're worried about the safety.
Right. For juveniles, what are some of the offenses that can be expunged or cannot be expunged?
The juvenile court is very different than the adult court, because in the juvenile court there are deferred finding processes. That basically means even if someone pleads guilty or there's a trial and the judge finds sufficient evidence to find that person guilty, if it's deferred, allowing them to complete a period of time where they are of good behavior and other consequences are met, then those charges actually can be dismissed by that court, and in the juvenile court system that is immediately available for expungement.
Okay.
The difference with the adults is there are certain deferred findings in adult court, which is trespass, certain drug possession charges. Some courts also do some things with theft, not a lot anymore, but it used to be that way. But if there is a guilty plea, even if there's not a finding of guilt because it's been deferred, for those matters for adults, it is not expungible.
Right, that's fascinating because I never thought that anything for adults could ever be expunged. I always thought it was permanent, so it's fascinating. How long would this process take for both a juvenile or an adult to get something expunged from their record?
Juvenile court process is fairly efficient because all you have to do is deal with the juvenile court. You file the application, it's a petition, it gets served on the Commonwealth. Within 3 to 4 weeks, you can actually have the matter completely processed through the court, and then the expungement will take some time thereafter, but it shouldn't be that long. The adult process is you have to file a petition, the Commonwealth attorney has to be served, they have to file an answer, the Virginia State Police have to do a record check, then you have to go to court and get a court order to expunge it, and then the expungement aspect of it can take an additional 3 to 4 months. So we advise our clients it's approximately a 6-month period for adults.
Okay, great. So can people reach out to you then to find out if something on their record can or cannot be expunged, and how would they reach out to you? And can you talk a little bit about where you can be found on the line? And
as you mentioned earlier, we are Biberaj, Snow and Sinclair. We are the Loudon lawyers. We're available by our website, which is www.loudonlawyers.com. Our telephone number is 703-779-2000, so any one of those means of communication is available to them. We will sit down and speak to the individual, take a look at what their record is, whether or not it is expungible, and if it is, then we move forward with them if they so choose.
And can they talk to you a little bit first about their case before there's any charges incurred, just so they can decide if they want to go through with it?
We do. That's the part of our screening process. We don't want people to come in, have to incur a financial investment, only to be told, sorry, it doesn't work. I mean, that just kind of seems unfair, and that's also not how we will do our practice in this regard. But yes, we do a free consultation. We make that assessment, and then we make the recommendations.
Great. Well, gosh, this is fascinating, and thank you so much for sharing that information with us
and
the viewers. And thank you for watching us on Business Profile on Lifestyles.